Hey everyone, it's Teddy, aka JamesKisau on MTGO, coming back for another Grixis Control Friday main series video. I feel like this is the first week in a while where the list doesn't look all that different from last week's. We're kind of on the cusp of Final Fantasy coming out. Hopefully I'll have some cool Final Fantasy content coming up because I am eligible for early access this time thanks to my DB account. Very grateful and excited about that. And there's some cool cards I think I'll get to try out. But for now, we are fighting it out in the meta. Meta has kind of condensed around blue-black tempo largely. So I like the two Kaitos. We're going to retain that. But also, we're bringing back Price of Progress this week. It's a card that hasn't been in the list for a long time. I kind of cut it after the Sowing Mycospawn ban. But a lot of people have been clamoring for it in the comments section. And it's good to not let your list just stay the same from week to week. I haven't done too much grinding online or anything like that, but it sounds like a fun card to play today. I certainly won't miss the second spell bomb, and I also cut, for the first time in probably ever, a surgical extraction, which is kind of crazy, I know, but the cuts had to come from somewhere, and I didn't want to lose the second fatal push, or from the cut, just I didn't want to lose any of this stuff just to keep the spread as diverse as possible. It might have made a little more sense to cut one of the red blasts before the second surgical, but I'm going to go like this. I think that's pretty much all to report. Not really any channel news. Please check out the Patreon if you'd like to support me though, because I do love doing this content. And at the $2 tier you get an additional league of content every single week. Pretty good deal. And we're working towards the big 2K subscribers, at which point I will invest in an opening for the channel. And yeah, that'll be exciting. So let's jump in there with our Price of Progress and see how it goes. Alright, here we go. We're up against Harry, who usually plays Oops All Spells, and have this Thoughtseize, and also Tameo Brainstorm. They're taking a mulligan. I could mulligan for Force of Will, and I probably should, I guess. Great. This beats a discard spell too, but it doesn't beat Pact of Negation because I only have one force. I'll bottom bad lands here. Ooh, Mountain? Grindstone. I still don't hate my hand. I would have liked the other one more though. Been a lot of oops misdirection going on. I remember I lost in the qualifier because someone brought 61 card blue-black tempo. Fable the Mirrorbreaker. I'm gonna have to force that, unfortunately. We don't like that card. Hopefully their last two cards aren't another Spirit Guide and Red Blast, but they don't seem to be. Alright. Grab Sewers. Pitch Brainstorm. I don't need that. Kolaghan's Command is great. Can I get another land? I can. Put back Swamp and I guess Bowmasters? Or it could be Brazen Borrower, I guess. Yeah, I'll keep the Bowmasters. I don't think they play Goblin Welder so much anymore, and this way I can also just invalidate any red blasts they might have in hand. There's an Engineer. That's pretty good. What will you tutor? I'm guessing like Painter Servant? Yeah, Painter Servant. Going for a win. So I could use Kolaghan's Command to shock and shatter, but it's also very important to be mana efficient. So I'm just going to bolt this right now. Save my Kolaghan's Command. Cling to Dust is also pretty sweet. Now I can grind. Grinding happening on both sides of the table. Urza Saga is scary. Another Engineer, sure. I could wait for them to play into that. But using Cling to blow that out, it's not that great. I don't really enjoy doing it anyways. Let's just stay ahead of this, and this way Bowmasters can potentially take out constructs as well. But probably not both of them unless I also draw a land. City of Traders. Blood Moon. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Is this rule in effect already? It must be, or else why would they be doing this? It's already happening. Alright, well, cast some black spells, I guess. I'm gonna have to contend with these constructs for the rest of the game, though. I wasn't ready for this. Are the new rules already in effect? Yeah, apparently. Shit. No one told me that. I need a swamp off the top. Alright. I'll take Consign. Now countering Chapter 2 of Saga becomes way more important than it ever was. Meltdown is good. Fatal Push is good. Agent is not bad. Cut the expensive blue stuff. I'm gonna cut Mistrise Village as well. Keep one Kaito around though. And a Thoughtseize can go. Yeah, that would have been on my radar a lot more if I had known the rules change already went into effect. Say yeah. There's no blue mana in this hand, but I feel like any blue source really sets this off. Opponent taking a mulligan. Alright, send it back. Welder. Got a good counter for that. Another blue card. Not a blue source. Play Bowmasters. Depending on what they follow up with. Saga. Pretty much just need a land here. And as long as it's not like basic swamp or basic mountain, should be in pretty good shape. But even if it was one of those, like, I'd be working towards from the catacombs. I've got opposition agent. Great. Do kind of want to get this engineer out of the way. It's not that great for them to get Dragon Engine back. I mean, despite it being a big creature, that part is good. But I mean, everything else about it is not that desirable. Let's just cast Brainstorm. Okay, cool. From the catacombs will probably be for later. And yeah, we'll just draw. Still no access to basic swamp, so I probably push the engineer and hold on to Bolt in case they go like Blood Moon next turn, which would be super annoying. But if I bounce the Blood Moon, then will Saga continue to get chapters? I don't even know. Ancient Tomb. I should have read about this rules change more. Like, I know a little bit about it, but I haven't seen like everything happen in practice yet. Grindstone, sure. So I'll have big constructs. There'll be 1, 2, 3 threes. Jeez, I can still sneak Kaito in though. But it does leave me pretty cold. I think I'd rather just play Opposition Agent. And yeah, I do want to get this damage in. They don't even block. That's fine. There's that. So their construct, or I mean, their Saga's going to run its course, which is nice. Don't mind that so much. They might have Bolt. I mean, the first thing I want them to do is make a construct and not just float mana here. They float mana? Well, that's not good. Let's see what they do in response to this. They got a Painter's Servant and a Blood Moon. So I think I want this Lotus Petal, huh? Yeah. Because I want to be able to play black spells. I should have screenshotted their hand, but I saw the red blast. I'll remember that one. Blood Moon's pretty annoying. They're gonna go Servant. Try and win next turn. So they're gonna red blast my lightning bolt. I could bounce it with Brazen Borrower. And then maybe they won't have another red blast. We're in a pretty funny spot, huh? Gotta name blue. That's how this works. Alright, activate Tarn. Grab Island. Bolt your Painter Servant. Yeah, they're going for the win next turn. So it was like Blood Moon and either Welder or Engineer, I think it was. I think that's what we're contending with here. Fatal Push. And then cast Petal? Sure. And then I'll throw away one of these. Or no, I'll attack with all of these. Yeah. If they want to trade with Opposition Agent, that's totally fine. Cool. Let's get that Bowmasters back. Tight. Surveil 2. Take Meltdown. I'll keep Nimble Obstructionist too, though. If I melt now, I take out the Great Furnace. It's probably worth it. Melt for 0. There's a little Stone Rain. 1 mana Stone Rain. That's a good way to roll. Ah, much better. Don't think I'd really change anything, though. PSA. Even with a Blood Moon out, Price of Progress still deals damage. Because they're still non-basic lands. They have to be non-basic lands in order for them to be mountains. You'll understand that someday. Wonder if Surgical is at all reasonable. I don't think it is, honestly. Not only do they have to like go through the graveyard for their combo, which sometimes they don't even do. It's still susceptible to like Red Blast when Painter is out, like everything else. Although Force is regardless. So you could make the argument that it's not bad, but honestly I feel like Fable the Mirrorbreaker is a better thing to extract than their combo. We can beat their combo. Creature combo is easy to disrupt for Grixis Control. But yeah, I think I'm down to side out from the Catacombs. And Spellbomb is like okay, but yeah, I just don't feel like the value they get out of their graveyard is insurmountable. It's kind of like bringing in Spellbomb to fight an Emery deck. It just doesn't feel right to me. The craziest thing would be bringing in Red Blast. Because, you know, they're going to name blue with their painter. But that is just, like, actually certifiably insane. I don't know, I'm starting to talk myself into Surgical here, because I don't want big, expensive blue spells. And from the Catacombs, it's just a little too much mana, and the double pips against what is, I guess, now a Blood Moon deck. Ha. I don't know. Sure. No. Yes, that one. This hand is fire. Keep. It kind of needs lands, actually. Damn. I think I screwed up. Nah, we'll be fine. Maybe. They go turn 1 Saga. I'm definitely going to counter Chapter 2. And that will go on the stack before they have priority to make a land drop in Red Blast. Here we go. Ponder, though. Oh. They're making life hard. I don't know. I don't really believe in Tameo. Not to mention if I have so much to spend my mana on coming up to stay alive, probably. Like, if I'm like banking clues and just have to melt down anyways, be like, nice going, dude. Spent a long time making those clues, and you just melted it all down. Real nice, dude. This hand is pretty painful to get a basic island with, but I just don't want to lose to Blood Moon. Even though Blood Moon would turn on my Meltdown, doesn't seem right. I'm hoping I just top deck a land. That is like the major hope. That's what we're really hoping for. I'm guessing they have Ancient Tomb in their hand though. That's what like a turn 1 Saga says to me. So the tempo on this line is pretty bad, but if their plan was just like grind with Forever Constructs thanks to Blood Moon or something like that, we got that covered. I think we got that one covered. Soul Cauldron. When I did my co-stream with Harain was really scared of this card. I didn't see what the big deal was. He was like legitimately terrified, bro. Play Tameo. Hit the land, so I don't really feel like I want to ponder yet. I'd weirdly almost rather have this get red blasted than my ponder, since I really want a third land for Barragoyf and stuff like that. Soul Cauldron does make reanimate rather poor. I'm gonna get a basic swamp. I'm still most concerned about like getting trashed by Blood Moon. And it'd be like one thing if I didn't have that many black cards in my hand, but I have a lot. They're in the tank on their target here for Chapter 3. Grindstone would be a little concerning. Like if they got Grindstone, cast a Painter, and then we're also able to protect it via Red Blast, that would be a real problem. But yeah, I've got an Edict, got a Meltdown. Things are not terrible. I mean, they could also go for something that synergizes with Soul Cauldron. Although you can't get Walking Ballista. Noticeably, that costs XX, not 0 or 1. Same reason why you can't get Chalice of the Void with Urza's Saga. I'm really starting to wonder if consigning Chapter 2 there was a bad idea. And I think the potential was just too strong for like them slamming a Blood Moon. And even though I have Meltdown, eventually they will just make more constructs than I can handle. Because I don't blow up lands in this version of the deck. Alright, they got the Grindstone. They have a Mountain. They have Goblin Engineer. Painter's Servant. Okay. Well, how are we going to deal with this? I guess I could Meltdown for 2. Would that solve anything? It would a little bit. Definitely don't want to reanimate Painter. Sewers, that's not the right land. I could just Edict this Engineer. That seems pretty safe. Let's make a clue. I think it's far too dangerous to ponder. I don't like going shields down, but also I want to make this land drop. Yeah, I'll keep that. Exiling Edict, you got it. Oh god, if they have a Painter from hand, it's over. Goblin Welder. That was a good draw. Very fortunate, I'll add. Do really want to land though. I want a red source. Maybe I do want them to play Blood Moon. Yeah, I think I want them to cast a Blood Moon already. Okay, whatever. Can't really wait for them to activate Soul Cauldron though, because then they'll just beat me. So I do need to Fatal Push. Unfortunately, I can't Bowmasters this thing, because in response, they will target Goblin Engineer and put a 1/1 counter on it. So yeah, I instead will just do that. Yeah, there's nothing good to hit. Actually, I'm gonna reanimate your Goblin Welder. Right? I mean, it will make them use the Cauldron, so maybe I should do that on a turn when I'm actually trying to get them to use it. Yeah, I'd rather just bluff. Because if they just, like, cast a Painter and fire a Grindstone, I will just lose. They have another Welder. Okay, that can get them to pull the trigger. Reanimate. I just let it go. They're too good. They're too good to fall for that. Well, I need these Bowmasters to line up, so it'd be a lot easier if I just hit a red source off my Ponder or any of my draws. Or if I didn't play around Blood Moon, I guess, which is absurd. Because why wouldn't I play around Blood Moon? Petty Theft. Do you have Spirit Guide Red Blast? No. Great. Can really mess with your stuff next turn. Although I don't want you to have a Painter's Servant. Like, as long as they have 3 mana up, if I, like, try to destroy their Grindstone, they need, like, a worse artifact in the graveyard, essentially. And it might seem scary that they have, like, 3 cards in hand, but I feel like it's somewhat likely that they have lands that they're not willing to play out because of Cydia Traders. Alright. Little help here. Cling, not bad. Oops. Not B. They'll be like, wait a minute. Doesn't he know? Yes, I do. Now I have an active Welder. Really don't know how good it's going to be. Also, these clue tokens are so sad, because you know I'm just going to end up melting them all down. It's so bad. It's so bad. Bolting a Welder? Yeah, I can't do anything in response. I really can't. If I weld Grindstone, if I weld anything into Painter, then they'll just win, so. Wait a minute. Is there anything in my graveyard? No. There's no Strix. Oh well. Would have been so cool. Alright, we're untapping. We have some room to breathe for the first time since this matchup started. I would love to just slam Baragoyf, but having Fatal Push means I can actually not lose and just crack clues. Although it's also pretty likely that they have a Red Blast by this point. Activate Clue. Oh my god, it's a red source. It's beautiful. Yeah, we're definitely just going to melt down everything. We worked hard for those clues, but, you know, who gives a shit if I can get in the way of my opponent's plan? I think that's a little more important. They have a Saga. We're going to try and win before that matters. Grind yourself. No, they hit kind of a lot of stuff. There's a Chaos Defiler in there. I do have this Reanimate. Okay. Let's activate a Clue. Don't hate the land. Spell Bomb. It's not bad either. Is it totally greedy to not play Baragoyf this turn? Like, I want to crack another Clue and get something out of this before I melt down. Maybe I don't even need to melt down. What if I don't even need to melt down? I mean, I probably should. But I feel like I don't really need to. It's a little greedy. I have this Fatal Push, which I'm acting like is going to save me from everything. Which I guess it would, right? Because, yeah, they'd have to even make a land drop to cast Painter and activate Grindstone. So, yeah. That's not even really like the debate. Like I should just play Baraglyph here. That's like the real debate. They're taking my reanimate. Yeah, that makes sense. Don't want me reanimating Chaos Defiler. Which did happen on stream with Harain, speaking of. Damn, that was some good shit. Well, there's Ancient Tomb. Blood Moon. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I just kind of need to crack for lethal here. I feel like that's really what needs to happen. Can't cast Brazen Borrower. They have a forever thing. Although, no, they can't make a construct unless they do it before Blood Moon resolves, right? Because this will only tap for one. Maybe they feel like they can't spend the 2 life, though. Yeah, because then they would be lost on board, and I've been really representing removal spells, so that makes sense. I would like a Lightning Bolt. Mountain. Pyroblast Tameo, sure. Brainstorm. It's pretty bad when you brainstorm with what's it called? Blood Moon out, but I feel like the potential is here for a win. Seems like their last card is Red Blast. Okay, cool. Wonderful. What else could I hit? Not Bowmasters, that would put them to 1. They're exiling Ponder. Does that shrink my Tarmogoyf? It does. Alright. They're at 3. 2 bolts milled. Should have started cracking clues. This is trash. I mean, maybe the next one's like right there. Kaito. That would not have been lethal because I didn't have any blue mana. I guess I'll play the Spell Bomb, I don't know. Maybe it'll save me, I'm not sure. I should be able to get across the line though with Kaito. It's just a lot of bodies to generate here. They drew a land, so they can block Baraglyph. They can put a 1/1 counter on it. They can give it all the abilities of Goblin Welder, but it will have Summoning Sickness. We'll draw more mountains. Draw a Ponder. I mean, this seems pretty face up to me, but we'll just make sure nothing at all bad happens here. And I think we just push. Seems like the cleanest route. Getting the GGs. Oh man. Tough fight. Wasn't really prepared for the Blood Moon Urza Saga interaction, but now I know that's out there. We will go forth accordingly. We're already back for round 2, and I don't dislike this hand one bit. Sometimes it can be a pipe dream for Strix to enable Kaito since it's a bit of a fragile body. But people are pretty disincentivized to interact with Strix, I will say. Tameo off of Volcanic Island is certainly interesting. We're hoping to draw a Bolt here. We don't. Another Force of Will. Alright. This is rough. They are styling on me. The good news is that whatever this matchup is probably a somewhat good one. Oh, it's Grixis? Is this Grixis Control? Are we in a mirror right now? It could be. I don't have to worry about days, that means. But I will have to force Bowmasters. But I mean, if all that works, and I can get Kaito in, that would be very mighty. Basic Swamp. I'm gonna bin in that Delta. Oh, this could be the Legacy Council deck, though. Like, they could have Wasteland, which is often a problem for me. Oh, they have a hard cast days? Oh, man. Okay. So the good news is that it's not a Grixis Control mirror. The bad news is they have days. Damn, how deep do they want to go on this? I'll pitch a Kaito to put a Strix in front of this. I'll do it. Targeting Force. Alright. I'm not done. That just tells me they don't have an answer to this Strix. But, I mean, I drew complete trash, so we'll probably lose. No, maybe not. Maybe I'll be grateful for those lands after all. Nethergoyf. So yeah, it's like Grixis tempo or something. But yeah, I halted their aggression. That's nice. It's just rough. Getting into that fight was ridiculous. Draw a card. That Tamio is styling on me. But yeah, I'm still holding them back, which is nice. Bolt. Well, might as well make it uncounterable, right? Uncounterable lightning bolt. Now I just kind of have to hope they don't draw Bowmasters. But even if they do that, I would then have to draw some cantrips for it to get bad for me. Yeah, Molten Collapse is a good exchange. I'm getting hit for 4 though. It's a lot of damage. Do you have a Wasteland too that you were sandbagging? Oh, Hehe, yeah. I don't think I can afford to do this uncounterably. I need action, and I need it now. Ugh. They pitch Kaito. Well, it's kind of a blessing in its own way. Now what, though? I could draw Barragoyf, that'd be pretty gnarly. Yeah, if I draw Barragoyf, I could cast it uncounterably. Just asking a lot. I'd also take Kolaghan's command. Brainstorm, sure. Nice. Nice. Play around days. It's a little bit bigger than you. I'll pay. Let me think. Yeah, I'll pay. Sorry. I'm being a little obnoxious. I wonder what the advantage of that is. Now I feel like you can't crack a clue and then fatal push. I mean, I'm definitely attacking. Ooh, nice. Attack with Barragoyf. No block? Alright, don't let me down. I really need a trigger here. Oh! I mean, Cling is cool, but I was really hoping for that to land. I guess in a way it did. Like, Cling to Dust is quite good. If we are to grind. Now they have 3 mana. They're gonna Thoughtseize me. I mean, yeah, I'll play the Bowmasters. Uncounterably. Ping them. If our last card is like Brainstorm or something, it's a pretty good jam. And yeah, if you're not gonna block, you might as well attack. I'm not gonna block either, because that turns on a lot of outs for me. I also don't want them to have Revolt. Ponder. Attack! Yeah, even Bowmasters is a win here. There we go. Although it's probably more responsible to take Snapcaster Mage, right? Nah. Can do this uncounterably. Beautiful. Yeah, I really thought I was gonna lose. But I gotta remember that just like the white decks that I have so much confidence against, these decks also play like a lot of 1-for-1, like Fatal Push, Molten Collapse. Just need to think of it more like that. And yeah, even though they have Wasteland, you gotta bring in from the Catacombs, because you gotta do something more powerful than what they can do. Definitely Fatal Push, and then some number of Red Blasts too. I bet they have like Murktide Regent. Mistrise Village is like not that great in this matchup. Because as you saw, like the time it would have been really good on that turn when I was trying to get Strix in. I didn't even have the mana to make it good. But I mean, that also got the Kaito out of their hand. It's so hard to say. But what I do know is that I think they'll try to fight me with the Hydroblast. This used to not be a nimble matchup, but with how easy it is to -8 or -7 Tameo, it's kind of a nimble matchup again. Not to mention, sometimes just stifling one of their fetch lands and drawing a card is a real big tempo win. Can go down on Force of Will though. And Thoughtseize. The version of the deck that I like really fear are the frickin' like Yuki piles where they're bringing in like Drown in the Lock, just super universal answers, even though it's 2 mana 1-for-1. It really finds a way to be effective against me a lot of the time. You can trim Narset and then Gah. Yeah, Mistrise Village. Drawing fire top decks is like of the utmost importance. On the play I can trim another force, I think. Yeah, this hand will do. I usually look for a 1 mana removal spell. Did I not trim any lightning bolts? Okay, that might have been an oversight. Have a look. I'm expecting they'll take Fatal Push. Maybe they'll take Brainstorm? Maybe they'll see all this value and concede. Taking Fatal Push is actually pretty good here since like the threats snowball so quickly in this deck. But yeah, they take stock up. They have an eye on the long game. Bolt. Okay. Play Scalding Tarn. Got a Sewers. Put a card on top and then nothing? I would really like to draw a land, so no activity for the Tarn there. Bowmasters, that's a good one. It only really gets weird next turn. Although, just getting ahead, I'm not in danger of getting Kaito'd. Yeah, let's just Brainstorm right now. Okay. It's a little sketchy. Hide the Bowmasters. I swear to God, they better not have a Reanimator button. Brainstorm's fine. Nethergoyf doesn't usually mix with like Entomb. I think anyways, like I don't normally see Nethergoyf in the Riscaminator decks. Alright, looks like they're gearing up for Kaito here. I have the Edict, so I might need to concede some ground here. Are they going to be able to resist Bowmastering my Ponder though? You know you want to. You know you have to. Okay, you don't. Nice. This is good. Hide the Bolt. I'm pretty committed to playing around Days. No Bowmasters. Well, that's a huge relief. Scalding Tarn. Volcanic Island. We need to dodge something that like gets value right now. Brainstorm is fine. Wasteland. Sure. Then nothing? It's given me a lot of time to do my thing. Send it back. There they are. So does that mean they're gonna like force these? Force these slam Kaito? No. More Bowmasters. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Not gonna lie. But I have Kolaghan's Command, which is often pretty effective in the Bowmaster Mirror. The Bowmaster Mirror. Could really use a land drop next turn. But I also might be able to bait out a Daze with a Lightning Bolt. They don't shuffle, they have another Wasteland. We're hoping that is just not going to do anything for them. But I mean, I'm not picky. I would take even a non-basic land off the top. Bolt your Bowmasters. Get dazed. No? Alright. Things, not quite right here. I know they were like thinking about something, but I think if they had days, that was like the perfect chance to do it, right? Extract my Bowmasters. I don't mind that so much. I mean, it's tough for the long game. Now they're like very ahead in the Bowmaster Mirror. Even though I did remove 2 of them. And I could always get my own, you know, like via this From the Catacombs. They'll have 3 cards after their draw step. If they hardcast Kaito, I could just Edict it. But if they were sandbagging like blue card force up to this point, or if they go land Kaito and have Spell Pierce, then yeah, that would be bad. But I'm prepared for most things, despite my low resources. Ooh. Yeah, if this was like the long move towards a Kaito, yeah, we could be in trouble for that. We'll see. Tamio. Yeah, I mean, I think we play it. Kind of expecting a Red Blast. Okay. I mean, the Edict is face up, but yeah, if they tie this all together with like Daze or something like that, we are in trouble. Thought sees me. Now what do I do? They'll take Snapcaster Mage, which is unfortunate. Let's just push the Bowmasters. Because they might, if they do have Kaito, then they have to lose their army. And if I rip a land, I can at least Snap Edict it. But then they could 0 and get like a Daze or something. There's ways this goes wrong. Oh, Baragoyf? Well, that one I think I can beat. Sweet. Very close to this From the Catacombs, too. Activate that. Get the swamp, yeah. This balances the board, too, in case they rip Kaito off the top. Yeah, I wish there was a better way to do this, but it's fine. No bad draws except under City Sewers. Hopefully they just draw a land here. And we are through 3 of their Bowmasters. Could be a lot worse. Easy block. Passing. Force of Wills, bad draw. So there were a couple bad draws actually. Land. Reanimate is pretty sick. I think I'll reanimate. I don't want to reanimate one of their creatures. I think that's too risky. How about a reanimate train, though? Love a good reanimate train. It's a little hard on the life total, though. I know I just said I didn't want to Hit one of their creatures. Oh, here we go. Okay, at least it wasn't petty theft. Petty theft would have been a true disaster. The board is balanced. And I've kind of ground this situation out. But I still really want a land. I think they have to take force, right? The escape on from the catacombs is just so brutal. Oh, nice. I will happily trade. Ooh, I wonder if I should block with Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, I can't do anything with the mana yet. Alright, no bad draws. Except Inner City Sewers. That'll do. Alright, so we'll go like that. Get Badlands, I guess, because it will get Wastelanded. From the Catacombs, your Bowmasters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands in exile. Waste my Badlands, you got it. Do that. Hit the secret entrance. Grab an island. Can even attack for 2. And pretty sure we can do this next turn. Like, I don't really even need to deal that much damage. I just need to get to the trap. Even if they put... Oh no, if they put Baragoi in the way, that would be bad. But if they put Nethergoyf in the way, yeah, we can totally do it. If they drew Daze, they can buy a turn. But the prognosis would be grim. And we worked through all their Bowmasters. Okay, they drew a land. I think we got it. Go to the Forge. Forge onto Army Token. We even drew a blue card. It's kind of out of control. Put them to 1. Get a Tameo. Go to the trap. Hit him for 5. Nice. Yeah, I feel like my mind is starting to adjust to blue-black tempo a little more. I don't feel so discouraged when I run into it as much. Welcome back for round number 3. Up against Palindromic Time, who I believe plays blue decks. Yeah. So I think we can expect a similar round to the previous one. Oh yeah, our Scaminator doesn't combo on turn 1. Yeah, I'll keep that. I sense I'm gonna get wastelanded. Huh? Maybe not yet. But what if I got dazed? No? Do I want any of this stuff? I don't know. I don't really like taking the lightning bolt until I know it's gonna be good. Ooh. Much better. I mean, the coolest thing would be if I just, like, slammed a Kaito next turn. Put a card on top. I mean, not a Kaito, a Narset. They have an action? Oh, goodness. Don't do it. Aww. I should try and counter this. Alright, I'll go ahead and cling to dust. Yeah. Force of will. Get that out of the way. They'll force back. Then they'll cantrip. Ooh, Snapcaster Mage? You don't see that too often in Beanstalk decks. Alright. Now if they have another force, the game's over. But if they don't, we'll be in pretty good shape. Play that. Sick. Activate. Take an Edict. Now we have some recourse for, like, Murktide Region or something like that. We also have to be ready for Orcish Bowmasters, I think. Oh, the long goodbye? Jeez. Yeah, they are teched. That is not really a card you see very often. Cast Stock Up. Really hope they do not cast Force Will, but yeah, it didn't seem like they had another one. What do I do here? It's kind of not really the right kind of action. Because the Kolaghan's command target, I'm much more inclined to reanimate. I guess I'll take the Force of Will, and I guess I'll take the Kolaghan's command, but yeah, this is not my favorite stock up. Not my favorite matchup either. Ponder. I mean, we do have Price of Progress. That's something I don't normally have against the Control Mirror, and it's very funny. From the Catacombs, it's not like I'm not prepared. I have been bringing cards like this ever since Sowing Mycospawn got banned. Okay, I'm pretty sure they have Murktide Regent, unfortunately. Oh. Okay, okay. That one's fine. I imagine they'll take Kaito. Oh, they take Edict. Why? That's like incredibly concerning. Brazen Barber. Alright, well. Can't really afford to make the first move here. Like Rakshas's Bargain would be bad. Since they forced through their Beanstalk and had the long goodbye for Narset, we're just like not in good shape. The long goodbye is very interesting. I feel like I might be able to bait out some Bowmasters. Here comes Murktide, unfortunately. But we were kind of expecting it. And I really don't want to bounce it. It's a very bad target for that. Okay, activate Tarn. Let's hit the long goodbye here. Barragoyf. That card's pretty good. I'm gonna force. It works. Good exchange for them. Bowmasters, that's good too. I kind of want to reanimate the Murktide Regent, but it's not a good idea. I just want to reanimate something. Because, yeah, my mana sucks right now. Is taking 7 at all acceptable for a 3-3 with flying? Man. I want to be patient, but I can't be patient with that up the Beanstalk out. Things are just going to spiral way out of control. I could play Barragoyf, and if they counter, I'll reanimate. But they know I have the reanimate, so it's kind of like... It's pretty whatever. Force pitch force. We're almost through the forces. Do that. Alright. See if they can stand up to this. They do have Bowmasters. I had a feeling they would. So as long as they don't Thought Seize me here. They Thought Seize me. God damn it. I guess now I could draw a land. So I can Kolaghan's Command and Bowmasters. They're just taking Kaito. That could have been a lot worse. Yeah, it seems like they also have a bargain. Yeah, it's pretty rough. There's really nothing to be ground out here. Brainstorm. Alright, well, play Bowmasters. If I can hit Bolt off this Brainstorm... and get a Barragoyf trigger, that is a way I can be like reasonably grindy. But yeah, I left up the wrong color. It turns out I could have Thought Seized. At the very least, they'll chump, I'm sure. Guess I'll hide, what, Kolaghan's command? No, I don't really have the mana to leverage that. Is Nimble just net scarier? In a weird way, yeah. Plus, if they don't block, for some reason... Okay, they do. I could have picked it up with the Barragoyf trigger. I'll be surprised if they can't address this Barragoyf. But I mean, if it gives me some Bowmaster triggers on the way out, wouldn't mind that. Speaking of. This appears to be another Murktide Regent, which is indeed a way to check Barragoyf. But maybe Thoughtseize can just like bust through here. And then I will have lethal. Let's check it out. Yeah, I think we got it. Yeah, oh yeah, they knew about the Kolaghan's command. Close one. But yeah, if the deck doesn't have the mana to cash out all the cards they're drawing, and they derive a lot of power from Force of Will for sure, not having to spend mana on your spells. That draw you cards is pretty good, it turns out. So yeah, I want price. It's really one of the only ways we can take this matchup down, because it's not good. From the Catacombs also is a way we can go bigger than them. I don't have green mana. I can't play up the Beanstalk. It's the only reason why I'm not. And I don't know if I want this reanimate. It's actually really good in Bowmaster Mirrors. So actually I do want it. Change my mind. So I think I'll trim a Badlands instead. Red Blast, important. Spellbomb, not bad. Opposition Agent, very annoying. Lightning Bolt, not one of the better tools here. I definitely felt like I was bound to lose that game when they long goodbyed the Narset. This is not really a Nimble Obstructionist matchup, unless they show me Tamiyo. But I'm always kind of operating like they have 20 cards in hand anyways, so maybe that doesn't matter as much. I can trim a Kolaghan's command. You can see how in the last game they can actually be pretty clunky. We can keep stock up and Narset though, because they won't have red mana. At least they didn't show me any. It could be closer to like a check pile deck that we just didn't see the final color. I do need cuts, and I'm going to keep Cling, because we need to beat Uro. Bargain kind of reintroduced Uro to these decks. They work really well together. Maybe Spellbomb is not good enough. It's just like one tiny road bump against Murktide Regent. And even then I'm on the draw. I could also see drawing Price of Progress being really bad when the game becomes more about card advantage and less about bombs. They showed me 3 basics too. Maybe on the play this is better. But also I don't mind trimming Force of Will in this matchup. Against the white versions I keep them all in, but against Bug, I don't know, I'm just gonna trim, yeah, Force of Will. Let's see what we have to do. I mean, it's not great, but it plays on basics. Has a 2-for-1. Baleful Strix, that's my up the Beanstalk. And if they Thoughtseize me, my own Thoughtseize will probably Lightning Rod. Yep. Beautiful. Can I stop a Beanstalk? This is not looking good so far. Alright, activate, Delta, cast, Ponder, keep that Brainstorm, put Cling in hand. Unfortunately, they will probably play up the Beanstalk though, and we'll be in trouble. Prismatic Vista? I feel like part of me clocked that. Sure. I mean, their mana seems pretty bad, I will say. Like, they don't even have blue mana right now. Is it important to Brainstorm right now? I don't think so. I think I'd rather get on board. Do that. Ugh. Not great. But maybe I'll be grateful for it at some point. Bargain. Tons of cards. But yeah, I feel like the mana is a little compromised. They've been Brainstorm Vista. I might not be able to price them here. Ooh, Orcish Bowmasters, that's good. Cast Brainstorm. The goods, huh? Put back Price and Underground Sea. And yeah, we'll just try and aggro here. They're getting set up though. Ooh, a Bayou? Maybe I want that price back. No. We'll get it later. Carpet. Further lessens their need to rely on non-basic lands. Play Bowmasters. They might counter with their own. They do. I've got one more copy where that came from. Oh, hopefully two. Hopefully I top deck like Reanimate or something. Ooh, Force. That's not bad either. Okay. Play Bowmasters. Hit your Bowmasters. And hit here. No block. That's good. Let's Brainstorm. Red Blast, but no blue card. Could still spike one off Cling to Dust. It's fine, it's fine. It's a lot of basics. Murktide. Let's try and Red Blast it. Just giving up on Force right now. They're gonna bargain over the top. Hit the army. They're really drawing a million cards here. I think my army will be bigger than that Murktide though. So I'll have to like kind of address that, I think. They've been Murktide Region, Undercity Sewers. Oh wow, it worked. And I'm getting triggers. I might be able to force and just like tie this all together. Oh, they're likely incredibly flooded here. Hit for 8. Yeah, I feel like putting them to 1 is just fine. Brainstorm. Bolt, but no force backup. They can't force in response though. They can't Veil Summer. This seems airtight to me. Alright, we got there. Scary matchup, but sometimes it goes your way. Like that. Huge shout out to Palindromic Time. Thanks for the support, and GG's. Now it's round 4. Things are getting serious. This name... I feel like it's either Rescaminator or Doomsday. I'll keep this Cling Force hand. But if it is Doomsday, Reanimate may not have a lot of utility. But it also might be pretty good. I feel like a lot of Doomsday decks these days are playing like Tamiyo, Bowmasters. If the game goes really long, maybe I'll reanimate a Thassa's Oracle and win with the trigger. I don't know. Literally anything could happen. And the opponent is good on 7. Alrighty. Well, I don't really see any reason to play out this Underground Sea this turn. Well, I might really want to cantrip with Cling, actually. If they just go like Dark Ritual Doomsday and the Force doesn't work. Or if the Force does work, I think I just cantrip anyways. Let's have a look. That's an Underground Sea. They copied me. I draw a Kaito. That's pretty good. I need an enabler. No Entomb. Ponder's fine. No Bowmasters here. Ponder will shuffle. They miss a land. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna brainstorm here. I miss on land. That's bad. But I do get a Thoughtseize, which is pretty nice. Man, I really want to reanimate that Tameo. Even though people don't really feel like it's a good line. I find like it's pretty good most of the time. Okay, so they got some stuff. I do want them to cast the Entomb. I don't want them to see my reanimate. But I will Cling if I have to. But yeah, I really want them to cast that Entomb. Like really badly. Take Thoughtseize. Another Ponder. Probably looking for land, if I had to guess. Wasteland, oh god. Well, now I'm feeling like I'm probably going to lose. Because I'm drawing a couple of cards that are not lands. Crazy how fast that turned. Pretty annoying, honestly. And they have double days, so yeah, they can just win. If their Ponder also came up with a land, which of course it did. But it's not a island. Do I pitch Snapcaster Mage or Kaito? God, I hope there's a black source on top of my deck right now. I think I'm pitching Snapcaster Mage. Oh my god. Drives me nuts. Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, I guess there's a reason why it's the best deck in the format. Maybe I was just way too greedy. I could have just taken Entomb or something, but I don't know. Then they Thoughtseize. Like, they wade through that no matter what. They had frickin' Murktide Regent too. That was just a real tough one. Sometimes, like, yeah, the way it breaks, like, if your cantrips don't bail you out and your opponents do, like, you're probably not going to win that game. It's pretty simple. Let's try it again. Yeah. I'm not going to get wastelanded this time. Delta. Ponder. Can definitely see why they kept that hand. Had everything except land. And then they hit land. And they also hit wasteland. And Force of Will at some point. That was the part that was really like, for real? You hit that too? I need to stop complaining, but yeah, that hurt. It's just a little unnecessary to get hit from that many angles. Tameo. I'm pretty soft to this, it turns out. I could Kaito over the top. Try and make that better. But yeah, I don't love my odds here. I think I'm just putting the less action-y cards back right now. Because I need to make something happen. activate that. Yeah, I guess I'll Red Blast. It'd be nice if they activated Rainforest first so they can't Brainstorm. Well, I guess it'd be nice if they Brainstormed on their turn, so my Bowmaster triggers might actually beat the Tamiyo. That sequencing was interesting. I wonder if that means that they don't have like days. Also feels kind of risky to go for Bowmasters here. I'm gonna send it back. Going for a Surveil. Put a card on top. That's not good. It's Wasteland. It's kind of showing up at inopportune moments, I will say. Cling Your Ponder. Bowmasters. If they have days on top of everything, it's kind of like, did my best. Oh, they did have a Brainstorm. Hopefully this means they don't have a daze. They'll force a will. This could be a lot worse. But I do really need a land. Great, thank you. Alright. Reanimate Bowmasters. Hit your Bowmasters. If they attack with 3 mana, which is not that weird, seeing as their creature is a 2/2, I might seriously consider using Fatal Push on that army token. Okay, they're gonna Entomb. They're gonna Entomb now that my Reanimate is safely gone. Yeah, that's fine. They don't have the mana up. Brainstorm. I guess now would be a good time to cling, right? Before they could get like Reanimate. Excuse me, force blue card. Oh, I'm so scared that I don't know, even I'm losing my voice and shit. Ah, man. Everything about this has gone crazy. Maybe it's not that bad though. If they reanimate Atraxa, I mean, it is. It is bad. Oh man, it does have to be reanimate though. Like, all right. Let's not be hasty. I feel like they're looking for a reanimation spell if they're doing this. They might not even hit. It seems like they might have done that because they knew they were going to lose the army. They don't have 2 mana up, so just putting 2 damage on the army is safe. Thoughtseize. I keep losing my voice. I don't keep losing it, but I feel like it's been happening with some regularity. Yeah, I feel like their last card is Reanimate. And they will reanimate Bowmasters, which will be rough. But they're not getting the Atraxa. I guess no one is. I kind of wanted it, but yeah, no one's getting the Atraxa. Yeah, they take Kaito. Oh, and they don't reanimate. Nimble Obstructionist. That's a good card. And quite a nice rip, I must add. Alright, if they don't put anything together here, could top deck a Bolt and win. They know what they're drawing, because it was a Brainstorm. The Long Goodbye. A lot of people are running that today. It's a good card. Getting countered hurts. Cast this. It's in there. 2-turn clock. Flashback on the cling, or escape, excuse me. And that's good enough for them. Man, it's so stressful. Fighting this deck is so stressful. I can't think of a single angle they don't come at you from. It's like every angle. Narset is a little slow though. I wouldn't actually consider Price of Progress, but it is funny. They use Reanimate, so they like hit their own life total. Still feels like nowhere near good enough though. I used to think about Opposition Agent for Entomb, but Entomb is always happening before Opposition Agent is live. And if it's happening later than that, it's usually not very good. Yeah, I mean, this kind of feels like the right configuration. Can bring in another card, but consign, it's not good enough. Could be Baraglyph, but getting your Baraglyph reanimated after a Thoughtseize is pretty poor. It's a bad way to go. Consign is good against Animate Dead, tracks a trigger, Archon trigger kind of. Could just be from the Catacombs, honestly. Because the game grinds out a lot of the time. You need a way to do something more powerful than your opponent. It's a lot more comfortable against blue-black tempo, obviously, like you saw in game 2. When they aren't like threatening a combo as well. I don't know. I think I'm coming back around on Baraglyph. I just want something strong to do. But yeah, we're out here with just one surgical. And there it is. It's going to be a little rough if they have a Tamiyo start. Yeah, they're not doing anything yet. Now, do I Thoughtseize or just hold up Cling Surgical? That's tough. What would you do? Comment below and let me know. Shit. I guess I can just invalidate Daze if I do it this way. So yeah, send it back. Oh, they have a play. That land is tapped. They put a card on top. Underground Sea. Douthie Voidwalker, sure. Kaito. I kind of need to solve this Voidwalker problem first. I mean, this can tap it down though. I don't know. I sided out a bunch of lightning bolts, which feels very silly now. Kaito does feel like one of the ways I can actually beat this thing. But yeah, this is not great. And I still need to worry about the combo. Alright, Thoughtseize you. Baraglyph, Brainstorm, Fatal Push, Ponder. Yeah, a bunch of cards I don't really want to have to deal with. But we're definitely taking Baraglyph, like no question. Ponder. Shuffle that. Although, I don't know. That's hardcast Kaito. Do I just have to keep this? Enforce an emergency? I don't know. I think we can do better. Yeah, that's pretty good. Brainstorm. Underground Sea. No shuffle. Reanimate Baraglyph. Alright, I'll try and extract those, I guess. They're gonna force a will. Well, they're almost out of cards, but yeah, they have a Baraglyph now. Which is kind of a problem. What they pitch? Ponder? So they still have Fatal Push, maybe? Just going pedal to the metal over there. Unfortunately, it might work. Cast Brainstorm. I need a way out of this. Strix is not the worst. I mean, they'll push it, though. And I didn't hit a land. Yeah, I think it's done. Bummer. but not surprising. Maybe if the Baragorth trigger misses, but then I'm just like losing to life total. Just running out of life total. Unless I use Cling to stay alive, but I just don't have enough mana to really pull it off either. It's just a mess. I am thoroughly discouraged. Unless the Fatal Push isn't even in their hand and they put it on top. Oh god. Yeah, whatever. Tough. No trophy tonight, but we got one more. Yeah, someone recently commented like, what do you think about the blue-black matchup? I think it seems about 50-50. And yeah, I guess it is. We beat it once and we lost to it once. Welcome back for the final round. Just lost to blue-black Reanimator in 3 games. First game was kind of funny. Really felt like I had that wrapped, but yeah, them hitting Force, Wasteland, and another land was just kind of ridiculous. Fighting Painter again. Obviously, like, taking Chaos Defiler is pretty funny here. My hope is that they just play out the Grindstone. But they don't. I mean, I'm still gonna reanimate it right now. Put the clock on. I'm sure they read reanimate from an Underground Sea, not taking the One Ring. Just makes sense. They could double bolt. We're pretty up in that exchange. But also I could just like force the second lightning bolt. It's kind of crazy. I feel like... Okay, I was gonna say I don't have a force for the One Ring any longer, but between Bowmasters and Lightning Bolt, I feel like they won't really be able to leverage it very much after a couple connects with Chaos Defiler. Okay, I don't have force anymore either, but I think that's fine. I think an Ancient Tomb or worse, City of Traders I think would be the worst case scenario here. Like if they got the One Ring in this turn and didn't have to lose 2 life for it. If it was like Lotus Petal, I feel like that'd be mostly fine. Painter Servant. Well, gotta bolt that instead now. They chose red for Painter Servant. Pretty interesting. Because I know they're not playing Blue Blast. Maybe they just didn't want to, like, make it too easy to cast Force of Will for me. Grindstone. Grindstone. Alright, I know their last 3 cards are not all Simian Spirit Guide because they have that One Ring. So I'm safe in doing this. Cling to Dust. I feel like if I rip a land here, that's a pretty big game. I do not. Shoot. Well, I could see how they block. Because if they don't block Chaos Defiler, I can just bolt. Okay. Alright, we got there. Similar matchup, if not exactly the same. Although we didn't see Chaos Defiler out of Harry's version of Red Painter. Fatal Push is nice. Agent is nice. From the Catacombs. And then, yeah, blue stuff can definitely get trimmed. Thoughtseize. I guess basic mountain now too. I think these decks are all kind of trying out the Blood Moon synergy. Can't remember how I cited last time. This feels different. Yeah, hand seems fine, especially if they're going to try and leverage Blood Moon. It's quite good. Grafdigger's Cage, it's fine. Ooh, another Kolaghan's Command. Hell yeah. That's going to be good. Saga. Painter's Servant. I guess I'm going to brainstorm now. It's kind of weird, but I feel like I'm not going to have a lot of mana going forward. Ooh, shoot. Ah, man. Yeah, brainstorm's kind of letting me down this league again. Not as badly as it was against Reanimator. I guess I'll put back a Bowmasters and redraw Snapcaster Mage. Let's go ahead and grab a Swamp here. Then cast Ponder. And shuffle. Great. Oh, I should just push now. Yeah. I don't want to get into like a really weird spot where they're like protecting it with Red Blast, because they could sneak a win in if their hand is like really, really tailored for that. I also suppose that Grafdigger's Cage would have been a reason to keep the second Bowmasters. So I'm pretty sure I still get the initiative with From the Catacombs. Even if the creature doesn't enter. Alright, Construct. Hopefully they'll make another one here. They do. I think I'll just Shock Shatter. And we'll get a Badlands. Boom, boom. It's a good mana trade, but still not even trading 1-for-1 with Saga here. Because they have a Grindstone. And another Saga? Oh my god. How am I supposed to keep up with this? Soul Guide Lantern, that's rough. And I will say, I'm pretty not stoked to From the Catacombs Painter Servant. Well, I guess, yeah, I would actually target it if the Grafdigger's Cage was still out. Opposition Agent's nice. Might have another Bolt. Yeah, send it back. We don't have much to do. Maybe they'll try and get Haywire Might off their Chapter 3 and Saga, or Cage will stop it. Oh my goodness. I can't stop all this stuff. I can't stop all these Sagas. Play this. I'm betting they'll have like Lightning Bolt or something. They're gonna draw a card. They can still make a construct, but not if they bolt. Ooh, land, that's nice. Okay, do I attack? I don't want to tap out. Yep. Because yeah, I feel like they're missing out on some number of constructs here by playing Sagas back to back. This is really my last chance to do this. What artifact needs to go? I guess it's just Grafdigger's Cage. I would have preferred to try to ignore it. What's in your hand? Oh, they do have Painter Servant. They're kind of gated on mana. I could get my own Grindstone. We can stare at each other. Because I'm not seeing an Emrakul in here. They have Duretti? I tried to make Duretti work for a while. It's a really cool card. I was like, it's my own grist. It's not really as good as grist. Yeah, this is going to be really hard to beat if I don't choose this. They got 4 Fable the Mirrorbreaker, 2 Furies, 2 Chaos Defilers, 2 Broadside Bombardiers, Duretti, a bunch of One Rings. Yeah, just extremely high value. Take the pedal. And I'd be more than happy to attack my agent into this construct token if it meant that I don't have to target Painter's Servant with from the Catacombs. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, it was 2 red blasts. It's pretty good stuff. Cling to Dust is cool. Oh, before I do this, I should check for Lobspur Boots. They don't have them. Nice. Hit work. Do that. Grab my swamp. Pass the turn. And hopefully they don't rip Bolt. Ooh, floating is scary. Have to assume that means they drew a land and they're gonna play out the One Ring. They don't have any welders. If I took a grindstone and then next turn, while they're tapped out, I snap Kolgon's command, destroy grindstone, and deal 2 to myself, I guess. That doesn't sound good. Alright. Yeah, the double red blast. Scary stuff. Okay, this is I was not expecting. But it does kind of make sense. Really puts me to the test. I guess I could have protected against this. Well, not really, because they could have countered Grindstone with Red Blast. So yeah, I think everything still checks out. And their complete lack of like welders and stuff like that. I'm glad I didn't bring in Spellbomb. They're gonna blow up my island. Sure. That's fine. Alright, how about Cling? It literally doesn't matter. Let's take the Soul Guide Lantern. Mistrise Village. I guess I'm going to the Lost Well. Is that true? I'd rather go to the Forge. But yeah, if I could just find like Consigned Memory or Bolt or something like that, life would be a lot better. Brazen Borrower? Not really what I was looking for. Yeah, we're already like pretty sold on. I have this Lotus Petal as well, so I could also Brazen Borrower. Just doesn't seem very good. Yeah, I'll just bottom. I think Mistrise Village is still better. Just keep my options open for the other one. Oh, but now they won't Red Blast the Lotus Petal because they know I have a blue source. So, if they took the initiative next turn, the One Ring would let them keep it. That wouldn't be good. That'd be bad. But 3 mana is so much to activate the Grindstone. I feel like I could just take it back. And I think they're more likely to dive in on a Grindstone activation if they thought I was desperate. But they also don't need to do it on their turn. They get me tapped low on my own turn. Yeah, let's just do the thing. Yep. So their hand is Chaos Defiler. The One Ring right now. And I don't have much. I also just realized I could have made that uncounterable, but I did want them to use that red blast. Is that even true? I don't even know anymore. They drew Simian Spirit Guide. Alright. Yeah, they have a ring. And I have no good targets from the catacombs. That could have also been a good reason to lead with Snapcaster Mage, because I would have red blasted that for sure. Yeah, I screwed up. Do I even go to the stash? If I go to the arena, I could get another card off the archives. But I think the 4/1 Skeleton with Menace is pretty good when they have a 1 ring. So I'm sure. Oh no. Alright, well, in case they play a Blood Moon. Go like that. Play Bowmasters. Ping. They're about to have a lot of cards. We need to end this, like, very soon. But yeah, I'm really starting to wonder, like, am I gonna have a target from the catacombs? I don't even think, like, getting to Throne of the Dead 3 is gonna help all that much. Like, Snapcaster Mage is already out. Backup Grindstone. If anything, I feel like it'll just, like, put Meltdown on the bottom of my deck. I know how these things work. Yeah, I did not hit any mana. Now, what's better? Cling or Surveil? Could do both, but I feel like escaping... Yeah, escaping from the catacombs isn't really accomplishing a whole much here. Keep that. But also, let's just draw it. Pyroblast my Snapcaster Mage. Okay, now I do have a good target. 4/1 with Menace. Ponder. Cast it. Consign. That makes me feel pretty safe, but can I just win right now? 7 damage. Puts them to 6. We take 2 off the ring. I don't know. Yeah, I think I can. If I have a red source, which I should. I do. Alright. Bolt. From the catacombs, target Snapcaster Mage. Alright, they're good. Whew. Well, yeah, I feel like it was another league that just, like, felt really good, but eventually you're going to run into a little blip in your variance, and it, yeah, manifested in a match loss, and we end out 4/1, which you should never complain about, but I'm kind of sad I haven't put up... Okay, no, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say I haven't put up a lot of trophies this season, because I have put up 8, but it feels like it should have been more. Such a dumb thing to complain about. I don't know what to say other than the deck still feels really great, and Blue-Black Reanimator will get you sometimes, because it is extremely powerful. It does an extremely powerful thing, and they back it up with counter magic. But also, like, things fell on such the wrong side in game 1. It's going to be hard to get over that. Like, we would have had Cling if they didn't waste land. I don't know. It's all good. We don't have to, like, belabor the point too much, but it does hurt every now and then when it feels like we should have gotten there, but we didn't. Whew. All right. We'll get them next time. Please check out the Patreon if you want to support me in this journey. Liking, commenting, subscribing, getting close to 2K. And yeah, I'll catch you next time.